Here we see a game dev YouTuber at its natural habitat, making games and making content. In the sea of indie game developers, game dev YouTubers stands out as they educate, inspire, and entertain gamers and fellow game devs. But can they truly live up to their status? Can game dev YouTubers actually make games? Is what I asked myself after seeing that the first Steam Next Fest of 2025 happened recently, and there's a couple of games there that was made by YouTubers. So hi, how's it going? The name's Silarus, and the point of view here is that YouTubers make games while having to think about making content, which takes a significant amount of time away from the game's development. With this in mind, can they still make captivating games? To see, I picked out 3 demos to play and see if game dev YouTubers can actually make a decent game. Starting with Seeking Adventure. This was made by Michael from Kindred Games, and this is such a simple yet fun game. It's such a cute search and find game with a bit of RPG elements. You click things on the level to get resources, and some things require you to have other items first before you can get what they offer. It's so simple, yet probably the one where I had a lot of fun. One weird thing that this game has is you have 2 hearts instead of 3, which confused me a lot. I feel like a health bar could have communicated it better.
Weird. Why did I lose a heart?
One thing I really like though was the combat system, because it's purely luck based, and rolling that dice just gives me that itch in my brain, you know?
I have that. A doll. Creepy man. Whoa. Gambling! Gambling, baby! Oh, there's one here. Gambling, let's go! Oh, he has 2 health. Oh, I feel like this should just went for a health bar.
At first, I was confused on these mechanics because my brain is just thinking, oh, I need this for this. But apparently, sometimes you can also roll the dice and defeat enemies to get what they offer. I feel like it could be taught better, but once you get it, it's pretty fun. The level gives you things you need to get, and you get gems when you get them. You can then use these gems to get to the next level. Looking at it, the game will have a pretty big map, which gives me hope to this game's full release. If you want to chill and just click things and fight bees or something, you should definitely give this game a try. But let's move on to another simple game, Hexagod. This is a game made by Arimus. It's a pretty simple city builder roguelike where you place these islands down and you have to keep these little fellas alive by having enough food to get to the next day. Immediately my mind went, oh, it's like Stacklands, which is something I really enjoyed playing. It's similar and interesting in a way that the villagers collect the resources for you, but you need enough resources to keep the villagers alive. If you don't think about it properly, well...
If I do this... Oh no, I don't have enough food. No, my partner died!
I think the customizations of the character is a pretty cool idea, making you more attached to the characters. But I feel like they should either be more customizable or just spawn in with random traits or looks, but with more variety. The gameplay is very simple, and most of the times you're not really stressed out finding food for your villagers. Then you can buy more land if you have enough stars and get more spaces for them to collect resources. I only ever retried once after the whole villager incident, and after that it's not really a hard game to beat, but the whole time the game was counting down to a corruption, which sounded interesting. The roguelike mechanics of it come with these relics you can get in chests, where you can get different power-ups for your run. And of course, it comes with the city builder aspect of it too, but I feel like I wasn't really pushed towards making a city. If you get what I mean, the villagers survived on their own anyway, and the city part of the game was not that intuitive, so I finished the game with really a very sad-looking city. At some point, the corruption happened, and yeah... Oh... Probably should have expected that. I think this feature will get even more fleshed out when the game is actually out. I hope they polish the city aspects of the game, since I really like city builders, and I would make another run just to build another city if it's actually fun. For now, that's it for Hexagod. You should check it out if it interests you, but let's move on to the longest demo I played, Twisted Tower. This is a game made by Thomas Brush. Apparently, he spent 3 years working on this. The moment you start the game, you're met with a pretty amazing cutscene.
This is very cool art. For Silas. London 1945. 1945? Oh. Whoa.
I wasn't that invested to the story though, but the art was really good.
Oh. Does he just want money? Because his girl left him?
Apparently this was heavily inspired by BioShock, which is interesting because I never played BioShock before, so I actually compared it to a few other things instead.
Touch the clouds of your imagination. Wow, that font is hard to read. This place should get a better graphic designer. Twisted Tower. That looks so cool. Holy. This reminds me of Half-Life Alex. Whoa! That is one extraordinary jump. Oh, so it's like Squid Games. Why am I comparing this game to a lot of things?
Then you're introduced to the combat mechanics of the game with the mallet. And to the game's credit, it made whacking random things pretty fun. I'd say the game's atmosphere was pretty good. Since I was more hesitant to just run around and smack things, it still had that hint of creepiness though. It's trying to hit that mascot horror feel without fully going into it. So it doesn't really take itself too seriously, which makes it a bit goofy but still pretty creepy. One thing I realized after watching Thomas Brush play his own game is that I missed a lot of things. Like at this part, there was a flying guy and a giant clown. I was so confused who was laughing at this part.
I knew it. Some little nightmare stuff right here. Breaking planks with hammers. I'm used to that. What? What the hell?
Then you go through some pretty sick looking rooms as you get more story. Apparently this guy knows your girl, but also it makes sense since they sent you that ticket, you know? Like I said, I wasn't really invested in the story that much playing this. Maybe the story gets better as the game goes on, and I don't know, maybe some twists happen, but right now I don't really care about Charlotte. Sorry, Charlotte. I'm more interested in whacking some weird mascots.
Yeah. Okay, we should not mess with that guy.
The next interesting things are these boarded up sections. Apparently you can access this in your next playthrough, which is pretty interesting. I've never really played a linear game with a mechanic like this. Is this a BioShock thing? Maybe it is. Sorry, BioShock fans. Then you get a freaking gun and things start getting interesting.
Is that a gun?
Nice. Is this a toy? Guess we'll find out.
I don't think that's a toy, sir. Is this a boss fight? Oh, Jesus.
And after that long fight, you get introduced to the reason why this game is called the way it is. With the push of a button, the room flips upside down, making for a new way of tackling this level.
Flip room. What? Insane! Whoa!
I really hope that they played more into this mechanic because it's really interesting. And you know, it's the point of the game. Right now it was only really done this drastically once when the mechanic is introduced, and the other times are just staircases moving around and such. Then you get out of the room through a pipe and you get attacked by enemies holding something I hate in video games. Shields.
I hate shields in games. I hate shields, man.
They only appear once right now, so that saved me from tons of frustration, or maybe the gun could have shot him, I don't know. Well, at least they're dead now. I think one thing about this game is I got stuck pretty often, not knowing where to go. But to be fair, I get stuck in every game like this I play, so take that with a grain of salt. Then you get even more guns, fight more people, move more rooms until you get to a section with a locked weapon. But before you unlock it, you get an interesting twist for the prize.
If you reach the top, through trial and fight, you shall win. Sweet Charlotte Wright!
Whoa! What the hell? No reaction from that? Really? Okay. This guy just becomes nonchalant.
But when you finally unlock it, it's not actually a weapon, it's a harpoon, or a grappling hook, which adds even more depth to the platforming. Gives me heavy Poppy Playtimes vibes though. Also, I took too long completing this level, but after that you get into a big fight event that took me a few tries because I had no potions left, and after beating it all...
Oh, I did it! Jesus Christ.
You did it!
-1. Oh, I did it!
So yeah, that was all of the games I tried for the Steam Next Fest. I actually wanted to try one more game, Twilight Monk, but the demo was gone after Steam Next Fest, so I wasn't able to play it. But all in all, I think YouTubers can still make pretty decent games. These are a very few sample of games in the sea of YouTuber games. So let me know if you want me to try out more YouTuber games, or what you think about if game dev YouTubers can make pretty decent games. Which reminds me, I am also one of them. And I'm also making a game, so subscribe.